Hey guys, so we're out here on the outskirts of Bangalore city to finally ride the Simple One electric scooter. Now if you remember right, this is the same scooter that launched almost a year ago, last Independence Day, by Simple Energy, the Bangalore-based startup company. It was launched at a price of 1,10,000 rupees ex-showroom, but this cost is not inclusive of state subsidies. The price will go down further depending on what state you live in. Now, last year we had a good look at the scooter. We even did a walk around video for you guys to show you what it's all about, but it's been a year since then, and this scooter has undergone a fair bit of change on the looks, and a bit of the underpinnings have changed as well. So we'll get into more of that throughout this video. Well, the USPs, it looks the way it does, which is really awesome. It has a good amount of range thanks to a big battery. It also gives you a good amount of shove with the motor and the power modes that it has, and it also is decent on storage space as well. So the scooter has a lot going for it, and we are here to ride it today. So let's get right to it.
Now, first of all, it should be said that although it's been a year since the covers were first pulled off the Simple One, the scooter is still in the prototyping phase, which is in a way disappointing. So there are still some ill-fit plastics and some placeholders on the dash. Stuff like the quality, the fit and finish of the panels, and also some of the software will improve by the time the scooter hits the streets, sometime this September according to Simple Energy. So what's the company been up to since the last time you actually saw the scooter? Well, they say that they've been tweaking the scooter and even streamlining the entire production process since that time.
Alright, so let's kick things off with the Simple One's design. Now, although from afar it might resemble the scooter that we saw last year, you come a bit closer and you will see the amount of changes that Simple One have made over the course of time, starting from the front. Well, you still have that mean, aggressive look about it. The scooter, very sporty, very modern. It has a new headlight design. Those small DRLs on the handlebar fairing also look very cool. The design of the winglets, which have the indicators, LED indicators, all LED setup, lights front and rear, look a lot better than what it did before. The mudguard has also changed, the bigger mudguard setup up front compared to the scooter we saw last year. The tires, well, the bike that we saw last year came with TVS tires. Now Simple One has MRF treads at both ends. The discs, well, you have pedal discs at both ends, bi-brake brakes, and up front you get a 200mm disc, while at the rear you have a 190. Telescopic front suspension and a mono suspension at the rear. Coming further back, you have a different design seat. Now, this is not the seat that you're going to see on the production model. Simple One say that they're still working on the design, the shape of the seat, as well as the softness of it all. It should be a little more firmer than what we are having, than what we see on the scooter currently. Coming to the rear section, once again, you have a different taillight setup, a lot more aggressive than the unit that we saw on last year. And the biggest change, yes, now the drive. Now, the scooter that we saw before last year came with a chain system, a chain drive. Well, Simple One have upgraded it to a more conventional belt drive system on the Simple One.
You also get a 7-inch high-resolution screen that's pretty snappy to use. But once again, a lot of placeholders on this particular test unit. And the procedure to set the scooter in reverse is a bit too simple. But the readout would appear well thought out, and it feels up with the times if anything. The Simple One comes with pretty much everything you could ask for in terms of modern, savvy features, and most of them are accessible via the high-resolution 7-inch touchscreen. And then there are other features like the reverse mode, call and music controls, and cruise control that are activated through buttons on the handlebar. Now, Bluetooth connectivity comes standard, and the scooter will even get some OTA updates in the future. Now, the Simple One runs Map My India navigation, and although there's no ABS on offer, the left brake lever will function a combined braking system. Now, when you think of EVs in general, you have to factor in the vehicle's overall range, and that's one real outstanding bit with the Simple One Electric. It features a massive 4.8 kWh battery, and to basically emphasize on this particular unit's uniqueness, the updated Ather 450X, which launched earlier this month, well, that comes with a bigger 3.7 kWh battery, which moves up from the 2.9 kWh unit from before. And this unit, well, it boasts a range of 140 km in eco mode, and that too when run in the ideal driving cycle. A unique bit about the Simple One's battery setup is that it's split up into two units, one that's fixed and the other that's detachable. Under the scooter's floorboards, it's a 3.3 kilowatt hour battery pack, and under the seat, you have a 1.5 kilowatt hour battery pack that you can remove and charge at your convenience. Now, both combined take a little over 3 hours to charge, with the detachable battery pack alone taking 75 minutes to come to a complete charge. And this will give you enough juice to go around 60 kilometers in eco mode. Now, Simple One is still trying to figure out a method in which the battery should discharge, as in either one at a time or simultaneously. But as of now, the fixed unit discharges first, with the detachable battery acting as a sort of backup unit. Now, the Simple One boasts a range capability that's in excess of 200 kilometers on a single charge in IDC. But out in the real world, you will be able to cover at least 150 kilometers on a single charge in eco mode. What's more impressive is the fact that Simple Energy have managed to keep the weight of the entire scooter down to 115 kgs, while even giving you about 30 liters of underseat storage space that's big enough for you to store your half-face helmet comfortably.
While we haven't really had the opportunity to test out the range capability because of obvious time constraints with this particular shoot, we have gotten a good idea of the performance, handling and the dynamics of the scooter as a whole, what it has to offer. So basically you have 4 ride modes with the scooter. You have eco mode, which I mentioned before is the most economical mode. You have the most range in that mode as well. Then again you have ride mode, which is the mode that you will be mostly in when commuting around the city. That gives you a decent amount of power as well, where your speed is limited to around 60 kmph. You have a higher output mode from the motor, where you get, it's somewhere between ride mode and the fastest mode, which is Sonic. So you have eco ride modes with Dash and Sonic. Each will give you around a 20 kilometer difference in terms of high speed limitation. The scooter, the motor, well, IP67 rated once again, 4.5 kilowatt nominal power output and a maximum output of 8.5 kilowatt. So that's really impressive as well. And the best part is the scooter with the modes and everything, man, in Sonic mode, this thing just flies off the line. While the ETA energy really feels quick, well, this one just seems to take it a notch higher, I believe, right now. So overall, performance-wise, this scooter definitely has it.
And the transition from one ride mode to the next is seamless, which is quite commendable. Now, we were riding the Simple One in an isolated environment where we weren't really exposed to any real challenging terrain by means of undulation, sharp corners or steep gradients. But we did get a taste of how the scooter would actually handle out on a proper paved surface.
And in terms of ergonomics and ride quality, well, the scooter is very comfortable. The suspension manages, it's a good balance between soft and hard. So if you're cruising around the city, hitting speed breakers, getting into bumps, ditches and stuff like that, well, the suspension manages it very well. It's very comfortable.
If you've ridden older scooters before, the Simple One isn't the sort that really makes you change your natural riding position for you to feel comfy. It's as relaxed as a regular ICE scooter.
It feels like a nice, agile scooter. Not the easiest out there to handle, but it is light and very easy to get used to in the long run.
Now, it's really sad that we've been summoned to review a vehicle of this sort, because honestly, in its current state of being, this one isn't even the final product that will roll out of Simple Energy's assembly lines. But still, for what it's worth, to sum it up, if you paid attention to what was announced last year, then you'd know that Simple Energy didn't really keep up to its promise of delivering a scooter that you could physically ride on time. Yes, since the time of its launch, the One has been shaping up and coming along quite nicely. But if you have to follow the timeline of a company who's been promising a game changer in a currently highly volatile segment, who hasn't been keeping up to its timelines, well, you don't really know what to rely on, timeline-wise at least. Because yeah, it won't be the first time that manufacturers of this sort made its patrons wait a long time before really coming out with what was promised originally.